What's up guys, it's Pragma. Today we're going to be covering the top 10 things to know and do when you start playing BDO. Before we get started, real quickly, if your computer is like mine, it's going to be in windowed mode. So go into settings, go into display settings, go into game window, and then hit full screen window. Then you're going to hit apply. So let's get started. We're going to hit start. Next, you're going to select the server that you're going to play on. If you are brand new, you're definitely going to want to play on Olvia because you get extra experience for 1 month. After that, it'll boot you off of Olvia and you'll have to choose one of the regular servers anyway, so you might as well play on these while you can. So we're going to click on Olvia 4, and then we're going to click on the plus button to create a character. Now keep in mind that the classes are gender locked, so you cannot switch the sex of the class. The warrior is a male warrior, the ranger is a female elf ranger. So I'm going to pick ranger. So here you can design anything on your character. This is their personality called the horoscope. This is the only thing that's unchangeable in the future, so just be wary of that. Over here in customizing is where you can design almost anything about your character. The model creation for this game is absolutely crazy and could be a standalone project on its own. Spend as much time customizing your character as you want, or just hit apply most popular and see what's popular at the moment. You can hit this button as many times as you want and change it from there if you like. I personally like downloading pre-made templates from videotemplates.com, which I'll link down below. Once you design your character, give them a name and then hit create character. And then we're going to hit the enter button to enter into the game. It'll ask you to configure the settings real quick. Don't worry, we can always change these later. I personally like preferred navigation type set to arrow. Keep hitting next and then hit complete. Alright guys, here we go. So it's going to play a quick cutscene and then here we are. The black spirit is going to pop up. Consider this guy your little friend. We're going to hit main quest. Then we're going to hit the start of an adventure. We're going to hit continue, accept, and then we're going to press escape. It's going to have us do a little quick guide, so we're just going to press W to move forward and then go talk to this Explorer Eden guy. Press R to talk to him, and then it's going to have another quick cutscene. We're going to hit next, continue. We're going to hit main quest again and hit excavation site and then hit continue, accept. We're going to hit escape and now we're on our own. So these are the top 10 things that I wish I would have known and done when I started playing BDO. Of course, there are many other things to learn, but these I feel are the most important. So the very first thing that we're going to do before we do anything else is get to level 7. There are some weird things that you can't do in the game until you're level 7, so we're going to start there. We're going to come to the bottom where these foxes and tree spirits are, and we're going to kill a bunch of them until we're level 7. It won't take very long. As you can see, it's very easy to start leveling up in this game. Your left mouse button will be your main attack. Alright, so we just hit level 7, and as you can see, as soon as you do so, these chat boxes pop down here. So let's take care of those. We're going to press the control button, and as you can see, the mouse cursor will pop up whenever you press control and disappear when you press it again. As you can see, if we move the cursor over the chat box, we can see settings for it. To keep things simple, we're going to hit the X on the top chat box just to have one chat box. Now, this is personally just my way of making the chat box. You can always customize it more to your liking, but if you do it like how I do it here, I promise you it will be much easier to learn. Now, I like to keep the chat box very simple. Of course, you can always customize it more to your liking. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of 3 and 4. That way we only have 2 chat boxes to deal with. So we're going to click on the 3 and then hit the X button. Then we're going to click on 4, and then we're going to hit the X button again. Now we have chat box 1 and chat box 2. Now as you can see, there's a gear that pops up right next to chat 2 when we click chat 2, and if we click on chat 1, there's a gear that pops up next to the words chat 1. These are different settings for different chats. So of course, change it how you see fit, but what we're going to do is click on the gear for the chat 1 box, since that's the box we see the most, and we're going to keep it really simple and turn off everything except guild, party chat, whisper chat, notice chat, general, and header. You don't necessarily need header, but if it helps you discern what person is chatting from which channel, then go ahead and keep it on. Remember, general chat is for the people that is in your immediate vicinity. Party and guild chat are of course for people in your party or guild. Whisper is for DMs that only you will see. Notices are from the game itself. When you want to chat, you're going to hit the enter button. It automatically brings up the mouse cursor, and then you can drag it over here. If you click on this with your left mouse button, you can see all the different channels you can talk to. Selecting a different channel and then typing something and entering it does not necessarily mean you're going to see it if you don't have that channel enabled on that specific box. As you can see, it's in our chat 2 box, but it is not in our chat 1 box. Now we're going to make sure we are selected on the second box, and then we're going to click the gear for that chat box. For the second box, we're going to enable everything the same as the first box, except we're going to add server group and world group. We're going to hit confirm, and then as you can see, we're going to start seeing world chat and server chat since we're in chat box 2. So the reason I do this is so that we have one chat box where we can ask questions and just generally see what the rest of the game is up to, but then have our primary chat box where eventually we'll have just our guild and the party chat. So now we have 2 chat boxes, and since we're in the second chat box, we can see what is going on in server chat. So this guy right here is asking about the unlimited potion piece from Bloodwolf, so we're going to respond to him. We're going to hit the enter button, we're going to hit on the roleplay button down here so we can select a different chat, and then we're going to hit the server button. We're going to respond to him and press enter. Now real quickly, notice before we do that, we're at 9 energy. If we press enter, it actually goes down to 8. Now your energy is something that will recur automatically. Just keep that in mind when you are having conversations on server chat. Now my next tip may be a preference thing, but I really wish I still would have known this when I first started. Go ahead and hit escape and then hit the settings button up here. We're going to click on general settings and then we're going to click on alerts. We're going to turn off all of these except for 2 that I suggest to keep on. The only 2 I like to keep is guild missions and fitness level up alerts. Of course, read through these as you like and see which ones you want to keep and not keep, but make sure you at least turn most of the ones in shared off so that you don't see this little notification popping up all the time up here. Trust me, it will get annoying. Next up under general settings, we're going to go to language and then we're going to make sure we turn this chat filter off. Video censoring word program is very sensitive, so you can easily miss normal conversations just by having this on. Of course, you can always leave it on if you want, but I personally prefer to block someone if they're just being rude or obnoxious. We're going to hit apply and then confirm. We're going to hit escape one more time and then go to edit UI right here. It's this little plus arrow button. Again, this is preference, but I suggest turning off the game tips by clicking on this little eyeball right here. They don't really help that much and they'll start repeating the same tips over and over. I would turn off the skill guide as well. I think it kind of clutters up the screen and you can learn everything without it anyways. Now I do like turning more things off and moving some stuff around, but for now we're going to keep it real simple and just turn those 2 off and hit save. We're going to hit general settings to save, and now we have a much better looking UI. Next up, I suggest going through the main quest line. Now in order to do this, we want to make sure that we're doing all the quests that have a little squiggly in it. All of the quests that you can get in the game will have different symbols here because this game is so immersive and can be different from other games. You want to make sure, at least in the very beginning, make sure you stick to the main quest line by always clicking on the little squiggly button quest. So for example, we clicked on this one earlier, and as you can see, it's in progress, which means we are currently trying to do that one right now. Now if you look to the right side of your screen or press the O button, you'll see a list of all your quests. All of the quests that have the little squiggly black spirit logo next to them are the ones you're going to want to focus on. Of course, you don't have to, but I do suggest doing it because you will get tons of great gear and other benefits from doing the main storyline. It also helps to teach you a ton of basics in the game, and because this game is so massive in its scope, it's easier to just focus on the main storyline first. You don't have to do all of them, but I do suggest getting up to at least Val 1. So for example, we're going to talk to this person, which is the next part of the quest, and we're going to hit chat. We're going to hit continue and finish up the conversation, and then we're going to hit escape. When you see the quest line crossed out in red, you can right click it, and if you look on the mini map, you can see exactly where you need to go to turn it in. As you can see, this person is actually right behind us, so we're going to go talk to them and turn this quest in. We're going to hit confirm and hit main quest again, and as you can see, here is another unaccepted main story quest line. Since it's got that squiggly, we're going to hit it and accept it. Now we've got it, and we can move on to the next quest if we want. Looks like there's already a red line here, so we're going to right click it again, and this time it summons up the black spirit. Our little buddy's going to give us some potions, thanks so much, and then we're going to hit main quest again and get warm up done. As you can see, for this one, all we have to do is kill some gray foxes, which we've already done, so we're going to knock that out of the way too. These foxes don't even know who they're messing with. Better back up, foxes, back up! And as you see, it's crossed out, so now we can go back and follow the path and turn it in. Before we do that though, I want to tell you guys about the next tip I have, which is making sure that we talk to every single person with a question mark over their head. As you can see earlier, we passed by one. If you look at the mini map, you'll see a little question mark here. If you look here, there's actually one right here and one right here. Every time you see these question marks on the map, you need to make sure you go talk to them. I promise you will thank me later. All you have to do is walk up to them, you'll see a little exclamation mark over their head, and press the R button and talk to them. Once you see your spectrum of knowledge is growing, you hit next and that's it. Now of course, if you don't know how to get to the person where the question mark is, don't worry about it, just move on and come back to them later. But for the most part, when you do see those question marks while you're running through towns and unfamiliar areas, make sure to talk to them and unlock that knowledge. Without getting too deep into it, basically the more knowledge you unlock, the higher energy you can get, and the higher energy you can get, the more things you can do in the game. Next, we're going to be talking about how to find the NPCs that you need. You're going to hit control to bring up the mouse cursor again, and then click on this magnifying glass here. Once you click on it, you're going to be presented with a variety of different NPCs that you can find and a little search menu down here. So if we click on these different NPCs, that will automatically map us to that NPC. So right now it has this auto path to the next person for this quest, but if we wanted to get, say, potion potions, then we would need to click on goods. Now it has automatically mapped us to the NPC vendor that can give us potions. If our armor started going out and we needed to get some armor, we could click on repair up here. If we wanted to buy a horse, we could click on stable, and so on and so on. You don't need to know all this stuff for now. Just remember that the goods person is where you'll want to go to buy potions and sell junk items. Marketplace is for selling stuff and buying stuff, and repairs are for repairing your armor. So next up, we're going to be talking about some things in the central market that once you get a little bit of money, you're going to want to get. Hit escape and then hit the central market button up here, and then down here you're going to see pearl item. Now a pearl item is something in the game that you normally have to buy with real money, but thankfully some of the pearl items you can actually put on the central market and sell to other characters for silver. So the first thing you definitely want to get is at least 5 pets. Now it may seem like a lot of money right now, but 65 million isn't too much, and eventually you'll get to the point where you'll really want these pets. Now there are a couple pets you can get through in-game questing and through events and stuff like that, but one of the things I really wish I would have known earlier, since pets are really important, is that I can buy one. These are pearl items as noted by the little P and the little icon, and keep in mind that for pearl items you can only place one pearl item order at a time. So if I clicked on the white Valencian cat, clicked on white Valencian cat again, and then hit buy, let's pretend I have the money, I could go back and then hit status, and I would see the order for it right here. Of course I don't, so you won't see it, but if I wanted to get another pearl item like a pet, a costume, or any functional item, I wouldn't be able to until that order finishes. Of course that's not how most of the stuff works in the game. Just remember that that's how the pearl items work, so be selective about what you want to get first. I also suggest getting some of the items under functional, namely the Blessing of Kamisilva, the Value Pack, the Sealed Book of Combat or Life, and most importantly the Secret Book of the Old Moon. Now once you do have at least 5 pets, whether or not you want to upgrade them to higher level tiered pets, or if you want to go for functional items, is up to you. You'll want some of these functional items because they're not too hard to get and provide some awesome benefits, but you'll also want upgraded pets because they also provide awesome benefits and can help you get loot faster when you grind. It's really up to you as to what you think would benefit you more, but the most important thing to remember is to always have a pearl item order up. Check on the status button often, and if you have it, great, get it, and then place an order for another pearl item, whether it's another functional item or a pet. Now obviously there are some awesome benefits from these functional items and pet items, but I didn't know that you could also get costumes from the in-game marketplace as well. Now PA has a million different costumes in this game, which is absolutely awesome. At some point you're gonna want a costume. Now a lot of these costumes are just absolutely amazing. If you press escape and go into the pearl shop, you can see a list by clicking on apparel. Unless the outfit says marketplace registration unavailable, you can actually get all of these costumes in the game. Of course you might have to be patient and wait for someone to sell it to you, but if you are patient and you have the money, you can do it. So for example, let's say I'm looking at a couple costumes and I say no, no, yes. Then all you need to do is type in Stella in the central market, make sure it's set to Ranger, and then figure out if you're in the classic or premium. Then all you need to do is find this box in the central marketplace and you can get it with in-game silver. Just make sure to know that premium set is for the Awakening subclass and classic set is for the Succession subclass. You'll learn more about what this means later, but for now just remember premium is Awakening, classic is Succession. So let's say I wanted to buy the Stella outfit and I know that I'm an Awakening subclass. I would go to the central market by hitting escape, central market. I would type in Stella up here, and then I would find the premium set if I was Awakening, and of course classic if I was Succession. You're going to want the full set. It makes life a little bit easier than placing a bunch of individual orders. And just like the other pearl items we were looking at, we would just click on it, and then place an order. If you're strategic about your pearl item orders, you'll have no problem having an awesome outfit, awesome functional items, and full pets. This will put you way ahead of the game and have you looking awesome. Now the next and arguably most important tip may be how to ask for help in the future. Since this game is absolutely ginormous, you're going to come across something that you need help with eventually. The first way is to ask server chat. Just make sure you have server chat enabled on the chat box that you're in. Another way to ask for help is by going to the subreddit on reddit.com/r/blackdesertonline. If it's a pretty simple question, just ask on the daily questions and answers post. And if you don't have Reddit, what are you doing? And of course you can always go to YouTube like you are now. Man, I love this guy. Definitely gonna subscribe to this guy. If the help you need is related to your class, you can always join your class Discord, which I highly suggest doing. I will be linking all of the Discords down below. Make sure you join those. They can help you out a lot. Before you start running in there and asking questions, make sure to check out the guides and FAQ first. And of course, if all else fails, just Google it. My next tip is creating boss alts. The reason people make these boss alts is because it's so easy to get some extra loot. All you have to do is wait for the notification to pop up right here, and I'll show you guys that in a second. Then you just hit the escape button, hit the disconnect button and then click on the alt wherever that boss is at. You hit the boss once and then you get the loot and then you hop back over to your main. Very easy. Just go back to the select character screen and then hit the plus button to create a new character. Log into the character. Where we started at in the game, you're going to travel from there to the boss's location that you want to plant that boss alt at. Now we're going to complete this quick little tutorial just to get the auto path. If you press the map button, zoom out just a little bit. Again, this is where you start the game. If we go almost directly south, you'll see the Garmouth icon right here. All we have to do is just right click and it will take us directly there by just pressing the T button, which is the auto path button. And then we can literally switch to her every time we see that notification that pops up on the screen right here. So there is the boss notification that I was talking about. So when we do see that, we're just going to hit the escape button, hit disconnect, and go to the alt. As you can see, now we are on the boss alt for Garmouth. So we're going to walk up to Garmouth and we're just going to hit her one time. And that's it. That's all we need to do. We will get loot. If you do die, just make sure to hit the resurrect at closest safe zone option. The reason I highly suggest at least planting an alt at Garmouth is because she has a very low chance of dropping what's called the Garmouth Heart. The Garmouth Heart is worth over 6 billion, which is really nice. It does fluctuate in price, but it's always worth a couple billion. Even if you don't get the heart, you do get some other items that can add up over time. Now, ideally, I do suggest planting an alt at all the world bosses. I will list those on the screen right now. You can come in here with a fresh character, hit the boss once, and get the loot. A quick side tip is to press Shift F5. If your computer starts lagging, it will hide all of the other characters. And then you just do the same thing with any of the other bosses that you want to do. But I do suggest if you only do one, at least do the Garmouth alt down here. As you can see, we hit it once earlier. We're walking up to where the loot is, and now we have the loot. We didn't get the heart this time, but we're going to keep trying. Again, it only took about 10 minutes. Alright guys, here is my last and final tip. Make sure you guys are playing a class that you like. In BDO, out of any other game I've ever played, there have been more nerfs and buffs than any other game I've ever seen. So make sure when you go to this character select screen, make sure you click a class that you really like for how they look and how they play. A lot of people will get caught up in whatever class is currently the meta class. Even this cute little shy class, which a lot of people say is the worst PvP class, can be unstoppable. If you build her right, it's called a full DP build. If you have the patience and the dedication, you can build up any of these classes to be as badass as you want. Buffs and nerfs will come and go, so don't worry about meta. Play what you like. Guys, thank you so much for checking my channel today. If you haven't already, please like the video if it helped you at all. If you have a tip for us, please let us know your #1 tip that you wish you would have known down below. Again, I am Pragma. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And if this video helped you at all, please smash that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Go follow me on Twitch. Let's hang out. And let's go, boys. You know the drill. Let's go. Let's go. Grind harder, baby. Let's go. We got some work to do. Let's go.